Hi there. I'm going to show you two different ways of slicing tomatoes. One way increases your food costs and the second way helps to keep your food costs lower. Before we go over that though, I want to talk about knife safety. This is a 12-inch chef knife and it's razor sharp. A razor sharp knife is much safer than a dull knife. A razor sharp knife also slices through your vegetables without squishing them and making horrendous cut marks. Now, when you're using a knife, never scrape the blade across your cutting board. That will make your knife dull, therefore making it more dangerous. Always use the back of your knife to scrape away and move things around your cutting board. Quite simple. So first of all, here's a tomato. I'm using a Roma tomato. This rule applies to onions and larger tomatoes, the round ones. So what I'm going to do is show you what I've seen a lot of people do. They come along and they slice the end up like this. Now, here's what you have going on here. First of all, you got this piece right here, which now has to be cut up separately. So that's more labor. You've just added labor costs to your kitchen, so that because you're handling it twice. That's not appropriate. So what I like to do is this. I like to get a paring knife, and I just go in here and I remove the end piece like so with a paring knife. And then I throw that in my waste bowl that's always by my side. So now you can see you don't have to handle your tomato twice. Then what I do is I slice it in half like this. Slicing it in half is a good idea. Then you can have something square to work on, solid. It won't roll around. You won't slip, chopping off your fingers. So what I do next is, for this particular special, is I slice this tomato this way. So now I can slice the pieces up. So I go along like this and I make nice cuts. All nice and even, the same. And just like so. Now I take those pieces I just sliced and I come along with my knife and I just cube them up like so. Just like so. And what we have are nice, even cut tomato pieces for the special that we're going to work on. Now I should also point out that when you cut like this into smaller pieces, it actually is the perception of more value to your guest. If you use big pieces, like let's say you had big chunks like this particular special, you want to make sure you have small pieces. So big chunks like this, they represent to the guest less tomato. So they're getting less. Smaller pieces like this represent they're getting more. Even though if it's the same by weight, they don't know that because it's all an optical illusion. Now there are times, of course, when you'll use larger pieces, but this is not one of those times. Thanks for joining me.